I was gonna try to get over there quick, but then I gotta be downtown skiing at 4:30, so.
how's your trip north?
And that's gonna last till
Wonderful.
7:30,
Was it?
so.
Great weather.
Perfect.
Good
Hoping
time.
to at least go to a
Get all
party.
the good hot
But
spots
she'll
Pat
be there,
missed.
Jill will be there till the end of the month, right? Till the end of this month?
Yeah. She'll be at the next meeting.
So the 27th, yeah, I should be able to make that, I wrote it down.
You probably went to places we wouldn't go anyway.
27th, yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Okay,
Ah, well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Hey, I'm responding well. 25%. You're responding well.
Move your head over so I can pile my crap there.
I only have 2 choices.
That's the time to go, all the kids are in school.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. When you got weather like this, I mean.
Saw a thing on the marathon. Looking at it, I can see a lot of those ones.
Oh, yeah, it's awful.
The tree inside.
I took the dog for a walk tonight, and I walked about from here to them chairs, turned around, come back in. You're on your own, buddy. It's terrible.
Another person for the rec committee.
I can see a lot
Yeah.
of things.
We're voting on another.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, thank you, Joe. Have you met him?
Look at our office.
Take
well, it's terrible.
them, take them anyway.
You go right to the
We don't need to
screen.
meet him.
Yeah.
There's little no seams in there, yeah. Yes, ma'am, we're ready.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's nice territory.
Yeah. All right, let's get this show.
Tell you a story about that later.
3, 2, 1.
Is it? Mine's not quite there yet. I'd like to call the Ferrisburg City Council meeting to order tonight, Monday, September 17 at 7 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mayor Hop,
Here.
Councilmember Kennedy.
Here.
Councilmember DeWitt. Here. Councilmember Twa.
Here.
Councilmember O'Donnell.
Here.
Councilmember Carlson.
Here.
Councilmember Blees.
Here.
Invocation will be given by myself tonight, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather here tonight to make decisions for our community. May we use our skills and our judgment, keeping ourselves impartial and neutral as we consider the merits and the pitfalls of each of the matters that are placed before us, and always acting in accordance with what is best for our community and our fellow citizens. Please continue to bless and keep our men and women in uniform safe from harm. We pray this in your holy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Moving down to item 5, public comment. At this time on the agenda is for any citizen to direct brief comments or questions to City Council. Time for public comments will be given when an agenda item is discussed. If you have a comment or question, please raise your hand to be recognized by the mayor. After being recognized by the mayor, please stand, give your name and address for the record, and proceed with your comment or question. Please limit your comments for 3 minutes. The City Ferrisburg Council meetings are live streamed and available on YouTube. Any public comments? Yes.
Gene McQuaid, 19136 Maiden Lane. 2 action items and follow-ups from the last council. Number 1 was North Shore Drive. I believe we were going to go to the city of Grand Haven and find out what their plans were. I'm wondering if that occurred.
Yes. They're going to basically do the same thing that Ferrisburg is doing. 2 travel lanes and 2 5-foot bike lanes on each side.
So that's perfect, because I agree with Mike. I think we should have one uniform look all the way down as compared to the road halfway down one way, halfway down. And glad we The second issue was, we were going to look into the enforcement of ordinances. Last meeting stated that most all that issue, Lady Justice has scales for people and blindfolded so that there's no prejudice. Not to say that it would happen in this case in the city of Ferrisburg, but again, long term, you have to deal with this. Have a situation, or sometimes not. Who is the one? Paul. Good power corrupts absolutely. So, really need to have a mechanism. Any documented, must know in the case may come down to, fortunate to have Craig here, who's one of the best to say can't keep up with it. The idea is so one of the, I was going to make city of Grand. So for somebody something. And the other way would be years. Made a complaint. Grace. Oh. I think we need
Sandy Tuggle, 17939 Dogwood. I have a couple comments in regards to 5G. Section 51 of the Michigan State Constitution reads, "The public health and general welfare of the people of the state are hereby declared to be matters of primary public concern. The legislature shall pass suitable laws for the protection and promotion of the public health." Michigan Senate Bills 637 and 894 facilitate the rollout of 5G technology. These bills are not prioritizing the protection and promotion of public health. Instead, they allow telecom companies to install small cell tower transmitters every 2 to 10 homes in all neighborhoods in our right-of-ways at cut cost rate to the telecom companies. Homeowners will receive no notification of installations and will have no recourse. 5G uses ultra-high frequency wireless radiation and requires massive amounts of small cell towers installations in order to work properly. Reported side effects include immune system disorders, reproductive harm, memory loss, heart palpitations, insomnia, tinnitus, headaches, vertigo, tingling sensations, and many more. It has also been shown to cause damage at the cellular level, causing mutations, cancer, and breaking bonds in human DNA. 180 doctors and scientists from 35 countries are calling for a moratorium on the rollout of 5G, but recently the FCC banned moratoria on telecom equipment. Many citizens are completely unaware of the deployment of 5G. In some areas, people are fighting hard to stop it. For example, the members of the Mill Valley City Council voted unanimously last week to block deployments of 5G towers in the city's residential areas by activating an urgency ordinance. Legislation, which is active immediately, allows authorities to enact regulations affecting the health and safety of residents. Other cities have adopted similar ordinances. The U.S. firefighter groups have long opposed the cell towers and antennas in their stations. In California, they fought to prevent them from being installed due to health concerns. This happened after San Francisco Fire Department did have the tower installed on their station, and they were all experiencing dizziness, headaches, memory loss, all kinds of different health effects. And also they looked into it and they found that the studies that they're doing don't evaluate long-term exposure. As soon as those firefighters moved to a different station, their symptoms subsided. The U.S. Conference of Mayors said in a statement that we'll sue the FCC if the commission does not change a proposed policy that will preempt local control. The National Association of Counties is also opposing the proposal. Those who do want 5G can still have it without cell towers being installed all over their communities. Samsung will be very soon selling indoor 5G routers for personal use for anybody that wants one. People should have a choice when it comes to being exposed to this level of radiation. If towers are constructed in cities and neighborhoods, people, including babies and children, will be exposed to it 24/7 with no option to avoid it. They can be installed right in front of all of our very own homes. The proposal from the FCC, Commissioner Brendan Carr, would bar municipal laws prohibiting the deployment of 5G small cells. This plan is set for a vote on September 26th. The National League of Cities and its government partners will oppose this proposal. Please do not support the Streamline Act S3157 or any legislation or FCC action that uses taxpayer money to advance 5G networks. Please send a letter to the FCC expressing your concerns. The letters do have to be in by tomorrow, September 18th. Chairman Gary Glenn has announced the next hearing on SB 637 and 894. It will be held on Thursday, October 4th in Lansing. As a council and as private citizens, please contact members of the House Energy Committee and congressional reps in Washington, D.C. to oppose these bills and proposals. Please consider activating an urgency ordinance or something similar to Mill Valley. Please take action to protect the citizens of Ferrysburg, and please share this information with our neighboring communities and ask them to take action too. Our health and the health of our kids and grandkids are not worth trading in for faster download speeds. Thank you.
Everyone received additional information in the packets this week too regarding this? Okay. Any other public comments? Yes.
Lisa Royce, 17700 Navajo, ditto. I won't go through the whole thing because you just heard it all, but it's very concerning that, you know, local governments won't have any recourse if this is allowed to go through. And I think that we, you know, if we don't know enough about it, and I think that we need to really look into it. And I think you guys are our voice when it comes to some of the stuff in the higher levels, and I think we should really look into it. My second question is, has to do with turning down the land that was going to be donated to the city of Ferrysburg. And I guess I need to ask Craig, how many times has city council not accepted a gift of land?
Collection, this would be the first time it happened.
Yeah, so I'm not quite understanding.
This is the first time that city council ever got offered land.
Well, I offered land once.
Well,
I
that's
gave it
true.
to you.
That's true. I take that back. That's right. Yeah,
So
you're right.
I did. It wasn't a big piece of land, but it was a little piece of land. I just, I mean, that property has been for sale for a long time, and I know it was anonymous, and I know we all know whose land it is. But I think the reason that land isn't being developed is because of where it's at. It is a very high traffic spot in a weird location to get in and out. I think that's why nobody thus far has ever put anything on it. I mean, I've lived in Ferrysburg for 22 years, and there used to be 2 houses on there, and they have since been removed. That's why those driveways were there. But I think just where that piece of property is located is why nobody else has ever came forth to purchase it. And so, I mean, I understand the concerns with, you know, more parkland or whatever, but when you have a citizen offering something to the city, I find it hard to believe that we wouldn't accept that. I mean, we don't have to do anything. Nothing's been done to it. Is city council going to go back and ask if there could be some agreement put on that land for something else? Or could, I mean, I've never heard of anybody not accepting a donation of land to a city. I find it a little, I mean, when you're looking at the amount of you know, park space, like you've said before, I mean, if you look at how much land, construction aggregates, and I mean, for being a small town, like we've all talked about many times, we got Johnston Boiler, we have Verplanks, we have the oil, I mean, we have large, big, huge businesses in the city of Ferrisburg, being as small as it is. And especially down there, they're all kind of all in that location. So I would really like if you would think over that and see if the anonymous donor would do that again and see if there's something that we could discuss. But I think it should be the whole city of Ferrisburg that turns down a gift like that, because it is a gift. Thank you.
We'll move down to agenda item 6. Consideration of approval of consent agenda. A, approve the August 20, 2018 City Council meeting minutes as printed. B, approve the mayor's appointment of Joe Kramer to the Recreation Commission for the term ending July 1, 2021. And C, approve the recommendation by the Recreation Commission to not change the name of Coast Guard Park.
Your Honor? Due to my personal involvement with item C, I will have to abstain from voting for that. We'll vote on the other two.
So let's remove C. So for the consent agenda approval, we will do item 6A and 6B together, removing 6C.
So moved.
Okay. Support. Motion support. All those in favor stating aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passed. Moving down to 6C, approve a recommendation from the Recreation Commission to not change the name of Coast Guard Park.
So moved.
Support.
Motion support. All those in favor stating aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passed. And Councilmember O'Donnell has abstained from that vote. Moving down to new business. 7A, discussion, take action if appropriate, to approve the recommendation from the Planning Commission to approve an amendment to the Lupinks Plaza planned unit development, the PUD, located in northwest corner of Dogwood Drive and 174th Avenue, parcel number 7003093000059, commonly known as 17717, 174th Avenue, to expand the parking area. And I believe, Craig, that that's increasing it by 18 new spaces? Okay.
Correct.
This was reviewed by the Planning Commission, and they had approved this, sending it on to us. Looking for good discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor stating aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passed. Moving down to 7B. Discussion, take action, if appropriate, to approve the 7th Amendment to the restated contract and to authorize the mayor and the city clerk to sign all necessary documents. And this goes back, reflects on the March 5, 2018 meeting, where City Council approved the construction and financing of various sewer authority project, including the replacement of the force main and the Ferrisburg lift station. Yes.
Craig, do we have final numbers on this thing now?
No, it's going out for bid in October, the projects.
But my understanding at the last meeting, we postponed this because of there was not a hard number on force main under the river. Has that been addressed? I mean, we have a firm number now?
We have an estimate, but it's going to go out for bid, and then we'll have our firm number with the contract, what the project is going to cost.
So are we getting ahead of ourselves, approving a bond issue before we know the exact number?
No, they got a pretty good estimate on what it's going to cost to repair that. They've done some soil borings in the middle of the river, and the contractor has indicated that what it has come up with the soil samples, they'll be able to do the project with a jack and bore underneath the river.
With snails or some clams or something?
The issue was if we couldn't jack and bore and we were going to try laying on top of the river, there was endangered mussels that would have been relocated.
Okay, so that's all been addressed and you're comfortable approving this?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor?
Yes.
If you'd like a motion, I would make a motion to approve the Seventh Amendment to the restated contract and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign all necessary documents for the force main and sewer lift stations. Support.
Motion and support. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor stating aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passed. Moving down to 7C, discussion take action if appropriate to approve the proposal from Painting Services of West Michigan Incorporated for $7,645.73 to paint the DPW garage. And this company has done work with the city in the past?
Yes, Painting Service has done work for the city in the past. Staff has been satisfied with the work.
Okay.
This project has been on the works for probably 3 or 4 years to get that garage painted. It is in dire need of paint, and I'm happy to see this get done. Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposal from Painting Services of West Michigan.
Support.
Motion and support. Any further discussion?
Quick question, Craig. This was budgeted for this year's budget?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
And it's coming in under budget. So we budgeted it at $10,000.
That's correct.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor stating aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passed. Moving down to 7D. Discussion take action if appropriate to approve a quote from Garno Ford Michigan Deal for $39,890 for the new 2019 Ford 250 pickup. So,
You need a motion?
we will before further discussion, yes.
Quick question, Craig.
Let's put a motion in support. Maybe we can have better discussion.
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we approve the quote on Garno Ford deal for $39,190.
assuming the vehicle replacement fund can handle this payment?
That's correct.
Thank you.
And the truck that is going to be sold when this replaces is that money will go back in this fund.
Okay. What kind of balance is that gonna leave us, you know, the ballpark? I don't need an exact number.
Projected fund balance in this fund at the end of June 2019 be $265,000.
After this?
After the expenditures that are budgeted, the pickup truck and the riding lawnmower,
Okay,
and share a police car.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any further discussion? There's a motion to support on the table. All those in favor stating aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passed. It's right here in the back. So, moving down to 7E, discussion and take action, if appropriate, to approve the professional agreement with Horizon Community Planning. This reflects the, Mr. Jarosik moving out on his own from Williams and Works.
That's correct.
Okay.
Mr. Joseph has been with the city since 2013, first with LSL Planning. And when they closed their office in Grand Rapids, he went to Williams and Works, and the city followed him over there. Planning Commission does a lot of work with Mr. Joseph. They're pleased with what he does. For zoning purposes, he's very reliable, and staff is satisfied with the work with the zoning side of him as well.
And also, the attorney has reviewed this information too.
The attorney has reviewed the professional agreement and has no concerns.
Okay.
Quick question, Craig.
Let's have a motion support.
I'll make a motion to approve professional agreement with Horizon Community Planning.
Support.
The hourly rate is comparable,
That's what we're being charged right now, $115 per hour.
so there's no increase or decrease in the hourly rate? for
That's
Mr.
correct.
Joseph?
And he indicated that he would hold that rate through 2019.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor stating aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passed. Moving down to 7F, discussion take action if appropriate to approve the using of Carlisle Viscro product for the City Hall re-roofing project for $1,763. That yes.
Yeah, Craig,
Let's have a motion to support and then we'll move forward with discussion.
okay. I'll make a motion to approve using the Carlisle Versico product for City Hall re-roofing project for $1,763.
Support.
Motion support. Discussion. Councilman Platt?
The benefit of having a reflective roof over a black EPDM roof that would absorb heat, have we any idea of the cost savings of having a reflective material up there as opposed to the black EPDM?
I talked to the roofing company about this a little bit, and they indicated with the number of cloudy and sunny days in the state of Michigan, it's really a break even either way. And with the white, as it gets dirty over time, it's less of an impact. There may be a greater impact when it's first installed, but that will diminish over time.
But there's cost savings that would pay for or exceed the extra amount that we're agreeing to pay?
We didn't do a cost benefit, no.
I thought that was part of the conversation that we had, that a reflective roof would benefit us in energy savings.
It will benefit us as soon as we put it on, but that benefit will diminish over time. As that roof gets dirty, it's not going to be reflective as it is when it's brand new. You know, it's white, gets dirty, but that could be 5-7 years down the road.
Craig, now my understanding of reading this document was that the increase in the cost of the $1,763 is because they're going to put a peel on there, a protective coating, until everything is, the construction is complete, and then peel that off to keep it pristine white?
Correct.
That's the reason for the $1,763 additional cost?
It's a different product than what was proposed, yes.
Okay. The other question I had is, I was reading that document, there's something about stones. Did you get an answer on that?
It was in the original quote that they would remove and dispose of the stone.
Okay, so that, the questions that they, I don't see it off the top of my head.
Right, what they were going to do with it, or leave it on site? No, we're not leaving it on site. They're responsible for it.
They're responsible to dispose of it, and that's, you addressed that?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
One question, does the city ever use that product?
No.
The stone? And for any, I mean, construction projects or drainage fields?
Not sure. It's like it's not like pea gravel. It's almost like sticky stone together.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, you got to grind the tar, and the tar comes with the stone.
Oh, okay, get rid of it.
You got a mess, no matter what you do with it. That's why I was concerned when I read that they were going to dispose of it, because we don't want it.
Okay.
Good question. Any other?
The way I read it, this looks more like cosmetic instead of functional need for the have this layer over top to keep the.
We want to keep it as clean as long as we can, so that it will benefit the city by using less energy, especially during the summer, by reflecting the heat instead of absorbing it.
They bid this contract out, they knew what they were up there.
So it was the original bid was a white or black membrane. Yes. Just having further discussion with them, how we're going to keep it clean, and when they do the solar panels, people walking on it, what we can do to prevent it from from getting dirty faster.
My understanding that the peel and stick is just there until construction is done. Keeps it clean, and they peel it off as they're walking off the roof, and we get a cleaner roof for a longer period of time, which benefits us during the summer, reflecting the heat. Our air conditioning costs should be less. So the whole purpose of it wasn't cosmetic, as you might think. It's to benefit from the white reflective properties of the material as long as possible.
Is it going to be more than $1,700?
I think over 5 or 7 years, yes. And I think we want to do this just with the solar guys going up there and walking on it after the roof installed, especially that portion, try to keep it as clean as possible.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passed. Moving on to 7J. Discussion take action if appropriate to approve the change order to the Willow Drive Water Main Project to include the Bites Landing Sewer Main Repair Project. That information has come through. There's photos in your packet.
So these inspections were done as part of the SAW grant where we went through the city and they're televising and cleaning all the sanitary sewer. And when they do that, they take a video of all the sewer pipe. And doing that in the Bites Landing, we found some issues where there's infiltration of sand. And so the contractor that is doing the Willow Street water main, he'll be in that area. And we've talked to him if he'd be willing to take on this project as part of a change order. And he's willing to do that and is capable of doing it. Northern Plumbing has done numerous jobs for the city and he always does great work for us.
Question, Craig.
Approve change order to the Willow Drive Water Main Project to include the Bites Landing Sewer Main Repair Project.
Support.
What was the estimated cost for the Willow Street?
$92,000.
So we're spending roughly $150,000 here.
Right, $92,000 will be from the water fund, and this project will be paid through the sewer fund.
Oh, the Willow Street is a water
Yes.
issue, not the sewer.
No, it's a water main.
Can the sewer budget, sewer fund handle this $55,000 outlay?
Yeah, this is a project that needs to be done, or else it's going to start plugging up and we'll have backups.
But the funds are in the account
Yes.
to do it?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
The projected timeframe of this closure is like, what, a week?
The Willow Street water main will be a 2.5 week project, and we'll start this Bites Landing after that project. We're not sure we're going to get the pavement back in Bites Landing. We were talking about switching projects, doing the Bites first and then the West Spring Lake Willow Main. But we want to get the Willow Main water main done so we can pave West Spring Lake Road so it's not gravel all winter. If there's gravel in the Bites, it's not going to be as impact through the winter.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passed. Moving down to public comment, item number 8. Any additional public comments? Yes. Yes, please, and then state your name and address, please, for the record.
I'm Sandy Benton. My address is 2805 Judson Road, Spring Lake, Michigan. I'm just here, I'm going to the local principalities, talking about 5G as well. I'm concerned about the health aspects and that it hasn't been well researched. And the local municipalities are like the last stopgap for this technology that's coming in. So I'm just asking, I want to preface this by asking that you oppose Senate Bills 637 and 894. And there's just something I want to read that a local fireman has presented. He says this: Radiation from cell phones and cell phone towers has already been linked to brain cancer. Have you heard some of those studies? Okay. With the advent of 5G, there will be more towers that are closer together, a recipe for disaster, according to health advocates. Multiple cell service providers have announced that they will be rolling out 5G at faster speeds, or for faster speeds, but the impact of the new network is poorly understood at best. More concerns about what the long-term effects of the near constant radiation, BAF, provided by 5G networks are continuing to grow, and for a good reason. The kind of radiation emitted from cell phones, cell towers, and related devices is known as electromagnetic radiation, often abbreviated as EMF or EMR. It is also considered to be a type of non-ionizing radiation. While it is not the same radiation you'd fear in a nuclear accident, that does not mean it's risk-free, as industry leaders make it out to be. Currently, cell phones and other devices rely on 4G network. 5G, or fifth generation technology, promises speeds of up to 100 times faster than the current model. In order to achieve such speed, however, there is a caveat. Thousands of more base stations need to be installed in order for it to work. 5G waves cannot travel as far as 4G. Experts say that one new base will need to be installed for every 12 homes. This means that while you might not currently live near a cell tower now, you will soon see these bases become virtually impossible to avoid. The fact is, it's just not well researched, and they're coming into city after city, town after town. They're starting in California. Some are going in Grand Rapids right now. And I think that with any kind of technology that's introduced right now, we need to be discerning, and that may take some research. All I'm asking is just research. Don't presume that these people who are proposing these bills have your best interest in mind for this town. Although I live in Spring Lake, I'm interested in going to different municipalities in the area and talking to everybody about this technology. Yeah, thank you.
Any other further comments? No? Hearing none, we'll move down to 9, reports. City Manager.
No report?
Council members. Councilmember Blees.
The NOR board is going to have their next meeting on Thursday, September 27th. The director is retiring, and they're going to do a little going away celebration for her on Thursday, September 20th at Mulligan's Hollow Lodge, 4 to 7. The Recreation Committee next meeting will be Thursday, October 4th at 5:30. That's all.
Well, where do I start here? To address the concerns about the 5G, the Senate Bill 637 and its Rider 894. It's, when you read the entire bill, you can see that there's a lot of stuff that was left out of the summary. One is, in the city of Ferrysburg, there is no wireless tower in the city of Ferrysburg. Therefore, the city can refuse to allow the wireless towers to come into and be put up in the city, according to this, the way this law reads. This only prohibits certain commercially discriminatory actions by state and local governments, which means if you allow one, you have to allow them all. But if you don't have any, then you don't have to allow any to come into the municipality. There's only one wireless provider in the city, but they fall under a different category. They're actually a wireline backhaul facility, according to this, which does not count as a wireless. So as long as we do not allow a wireless company to come in and set up towers, we don't have to allow any to come in. Now, I'd like to have our city attorney just kind of verify that, but when you read that, that's what this is stating. It states under the denial specific things, and we meet all those standards where we can deny the. So hopefully that'll alleviate some of your fears for at least the city of Ferrysburg, and we can maybe pass that on to other cities that don't have towers, that they can refuse that as well. Yep. Second one is the Ambulance Oversight Committee met last month to look at how NOACH has been doing over the last year. We signed a contract that expires December 31st of this year. The board was satisfied with NOACH's performance and wanted a few more statistics, a little bit more information. So we're going to be meeting again next Tuesday, but we have tentatively, we're looking at doing a renewal of the ambulance contract for another 3 to 4 years. That'll be coming up in the next month or so. There have been no problems with NOACH in Ferrisburgh. Having worked with them on both sides of the fence, I've not had any problems at all. So, October 15th, the county is switching over all dispatch and communications radios to the 800 megahertz, which means all of our radios that we have now will be basically just kind of a backup. The initial cost to the city is nothing. However, we will be responsible for all the cost and maintenance of the upkeep. All of our fire trucks have the mobiles already in. October 1st, they're holding a joint training with Spring Lake Township, showing us how to operate these new radios. So just let you know, I will not be here on October 1st. I will be training on those new radios.
Which is the next agenda item on their docket, and that will be held in October 26th here at the Ferrisburgh Gym. October 15th, I will not be here. I have my last chemo treatment that Thursday, so the side effects kick in. I know I will be out sick.
Kitchell Lindquist Dune Preserve, in our council packet 2 weeks ago was studies being done about the erosion and or de-erosion, the creation of land within the Dune Preserve because of sedimentation. And that's something that the Dune Preserve Board is looking at, because we also have a dune that is starting to encroach more and more on our facility that's out there where the bathrooms are. And so that's something we've been working on. It's something our intern has been working on this summer as to what we can do to stop the dune or slow the progression of the dune. And I know that we've been bringing in some different experts about erosion control as well on the riverfront. So that's the end of my report. I was not able to attend, but I'm sure it was fantastic.
Just a quick thought. Craig, could you think about this issue that Gene brought up as far as the zoning ordinances and enforcement? And if you think that we should have a volunteer committee, or like Gene suggested, maybe a website where you could report violations to the city website and give us a report on that.
Is that something council would like to have direct staff to do at this point?
I thought we were going to have another work session on it. We were still discussing about ordinances, if we have too many on there, need the planning commission to look at some of these. We don't want to become a police state either.
find out how much staff time is involved doing this.
I'll get some more information, put it on the next work session regarding this enforcement.
Okay, is council okay with doing it in a work session?
That's it.
That's it, okay. A huge thank you to the community for supporting the Smiths Bayou Chili Cook-Off. We raised over $8,500 for Gracious Grounds. That was phenomenal, beautiful day. I know information's gone out to the schools and local municipalities and all of that about Smiths Bridge being closed. And so I'm sure all of everybody received that information too. It's October 1st and 2nd, those two. Just the first
I'm
Monday,
sorry, October 2nd.
October 2nd, the Tuesday. Smiths Bridge will be closed. And so that information's already been relayed out to the schools and Ottawa County and that. And then I attended my second active shooter training. So it's great training that Ottawa County officers put out there. So if you have an opportunity to attend any of them, it's well worth it to keep abreast of what's going on. So that's it. Motion to adjourn. So moved.
Party's over.